Midnight in Paris, a jazz rhapsody. The moon hung low, casting a silver veil over the city of Paris, where the Seine whispered secrets to the cobblestone streets. A soft mist clung to the bridges, swirling gently around the wrought iron railings. The Eiffel Tower stood tall in the distance, its lights flickering like a heartbeat in the night. In a dimly lit alleyway, tucked between two Art Deco buildings, the sound of a saxophone weaved through the air. Each note danced on the breeze, curling around the lampposts and slipping into the shadows. A woman stood under the glow of a single street lamp, her eyes closed, her blonde curls framing a face lost in the music. The saxophone gleamed in her hands, a rose-gold contrast against the monochrome world around her, its surface catching the soft glow of the moon. Her fingers moved effortlessly, coaxing out melodies that seemed to echo the soul of the city itself. Smooth, aching, and full of untold stories. The notes climbed high, then dipped low, like the gentle rise and fall of the Seine's waters. The melody lingered, hanging in the air like the scent of rain, before dissolving into the night. Around her, the city breathed in rhythm with the music. A couple walked hand in hand down the narrow street, their steps in sync with the beat. They paused at the edge of the alley, drawn in by the sound, their faces illuminated by the soft golden light spilling from a nearby cafe. Inside, the clatter of porcelain cups and the murmur of quiet conversations filled the room, but the saxophone's melody was the true conversation, pulling everyone into its embrace. The woman's dress shimmered faintly in the moonlight, a soft ripple of satin with each sway of her body. Her breath mingled with the night air, visible in short puffs as the coolness of early spring began to settle in. The Eiffel Tower's lights twinkled in the background, an elegant silhouette against the night sky, as if nodding in approval of the music that filled the streets below. A cat, sleek and black, slipped out of the shadows and curled up on a nearby windowsill, its ears twitching in time with the music. The woman opened her eyes for a moment, a soft smile playing on her lips as she caught sight of her small, attentive audience. She closed her eyes again, letting the rhythm take her back to a time when jazz was the language of the night, and Paris was its most fluent speaker. A gust of wind swept through the alley, rustling the leaves of the trees that lined the street, carrying the music farther, deeper into the heart of the city. The woman's fingers danced over the keys, her whole being a part of the saxophone now, inseparable from the music she played. The final note lingered, suspended in the air like a final whispered word before a long goodbye. The woman lowered her saxophone, her breath steadying as the echoes of her melody faded into the night. The city seemed to hold its breath, savoring the silence left in the wake of the music. She glanced up at the Eiffel Tower, its lights now a steady glow against the velvety sky. The city of Paris, with all its lights and shadows, seemed to exhale, returning to its quiet midnight rhythm. The woman turned, disappearing into the alley, her figure melting into the darkness as the last note of her jazz rhapsody echoed softly in the distance.